Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome back for part 3 in our kiln build series where we're going to take a old electric kiln and convert it into a salt/soda kiln. This is going to be part number 3. We're going to glaze a couple pots, load them into the kiln real briefly, fire it up, and then do a full unloading. But you're going to want to stick around to the end because I take some of the pots out and refire them and they come out twice as good or more than the first time we fired them. So stick around for the end for that. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, part 1 we built the kiln. Part 2 we coated the inside to resist the soda. And this is part 3, like I said. In part 4, we're going to do a full cost breakdown and materials list for the kiln. And then there'll be a part 5 and a part 6 and a part 7 where we just keep on firing it and getting the pots better and better and better. So come along with me on my journey and let's get to glazing. A lot of the pots I made for this firing were made from Frost Porcelain from Laguna. It's just the most absolutely beautiful clay in the world, but it's very white, so I sprayed a flashing slip on top of it. And for this one, I had already put down iron oxide Mishima decoration on it, and I'm spraying the flashing slip right over the top of it, and I'm hoping that iron oxide will burn through the flashing slip. If you're not familiar with flashing slips, usually they have a decent amount of flux in them. Like this one happens to be 50% nepheline syenite, and then it usually has a dirty kaolin of some sort. So this one has a Helmer kaolin, which is a slightly off-white kaolin, and something called laterite, which is pretty darn red. That's where the red color comes from. And this will attract the salt and just give it a little color in the kiln. And we got all the pots lined up here. A lot of them are ash glazed, and we got a lot of the amber from the first firing. Didn't end up fitting everything in there, so got a couple pots left over for next time. Next came the loading, and if you didn't watch the first video about building this kiln, most of the people that fire a kiln like this design only put one single stack of shelves in there. And so I wanted to test it. You can see how I nipped off the end of that one shelf right there, just to add a little bit more into that. So this was the whole firing was a test to see if you could, nip off the end of the shelf and put more pots in. And I tried it going horizontally and vertically, as you can see here. When I put them in this configuration, I tried to leave a split through there in between the two shelves, try to promote airflow through it. And I tried some different configurations. It ended up working fantastic. And I'm so glad that I tried it because it seems like such a waste not to put that extra half shelf in there. So I'm so glad I tried it. So if you have a kiln just like this, totally go ahead and put more pots in it. But you're going to learn later that putting this full shelf on the top was a mistake. It choked off the top and caused it to get a little bit too cool on the top. And I'm also trying putting these kiln shelves there before I put the lid on. And I did end up putting fiber in there. And I gave it a lit. I gave it a light. I didn't really video much of the firing because it got really late. I didn't finish loading it till like 4 o'clock or something. And I didn't finish firing it till 4 a.m. So I don't have much video of the firing. Hey everybody, this is Kathy Skaggs, my good friend Kathy Skaggs. And she's come over here to look at the soda kiln. She's got some amazing work in here. What do you think, Kathy?
I am 100% blown away. He told me about this kiln and I just couldn't believe it. And I was lucky enough he put some of my pieces in there. And when you see what comes out of this kiln, you are going to be shocked. I mean, the color, Jeff, the color is beautiful. How did the temperature do?
Yeah, I think it came out pretty good. It was the last time we fired this, it was very hot on top. And so I packed it really tight and put a larger shelf on the top. And this time it was completely the opposite. So I think it choked off the top a little bit because we only got 5 at the top, but then 6 on the bottom. I think we choked it off a little bit too much, but overall it looks pretty good. I don't think I put enough soda in it. We're learning, and I think it's still a pretty good success. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the pots.
I see one of my cups right here in the middle.
Do you want to show it off?
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, do you want to show it off?
All right.
Oh, what is it?
Wow. Look at that color. This is Amix, Amoco's Amix clay. It's a cone 6. It's kind of like a white stoneware. It's kind of a little bit like not really a porcelain, white stoneware. And I silk screened on there with the Amoco printing inks. I love it. And then I put a liner glaze of the dipping and layering white, and then I put a little bit of Celadon, but look at the way that Celadon breaks on there.
That is awesome.
I mean, I'm so pleased. And
can I bring this up to the camera?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the silk screening on there, the map and everything. How awesome is that? Looks good. And this is a wadding. We were trying out this wadding. It's made with coffee grounds to make it light and loose to break away, and I think it looks pretty good. The marks look nice. There's the cone pack, got cone 5 on top. But 6 was fully down everywhere else, and I did have a 9, 10, 11. I can't see it down lower. The 9, 10, and 11 is not bent at all on the top. I put a full shelf right here, and I think that choked it off. Show off some of the work here. This is a frost porcelain, and this is the wadding. I think the wadding is pretty awesome, and it's one giant bowl full of used coffee grounds, 1/3 alumina hydrate, and 2/3 Newman red clay, and it leaves a nice dark mark instead of the blazing white mark. But I think I'm going to refire some of these. These only got to cone 5, and the glaze didn't quite flux all the way, but I do like this. Got Amaco underglaze on here, and that's the raw clay body. I have a bunch of student artwork. I really like that toast look right there. This is a student piece. He's going to be very excited about that. Some swirly clay and some iron oxide decoration. I think this is my favorite so far. I love this blazing orange color with I used a Hakame brush to put on the glaze. I think next firing I dipped it to here, and I think next firing I won't dip it. I'll just use the Hakame brush. And I love that surface right there. That is, in my eye, perfect. And on the frost porcelain. Ooh, I didn't see that. A little soda smackdown right there. That is kind of cool. All right. I like that a lot right there where the soda hit it. And that is a white glaze underneath the amber with some black underglaze. Okay, toasty. This little guy, I don't know if I'm going to keep this, but my idea for this is to weld it on top of the chimney as like a mascot for the kiln, so it's swimming in the current. All right, I like the flounder pattern. Could have used a little more heat. We're working on stuff. I'm trying to use more natural movements of my hand, make it look more handmade. And I do really like the white glaze under the amber Celadon. I think that's fantastic. So more of that, more heat, more soda, I think would fix that. There's our 80/20 silica EPK mix. It barely looks melted at all. The whole kiln looks like it's in pretty good shape. The raw soft brick looks barely touched. I think that's the trick right there. With the 80/20 silica over the raw soft brick, looks perfect. Yes, I see one of Kathy's right here that looks pretty amazing.
Can I pick it up?
Yes, please. What do you think?
Oh, I love that 100%. This is a wood fire clay from Herrick Smith. He does wood fire in St. Augustine, and this is his clay body. He goes up to 910. Look at the way that the Celadon is over those inks. But the contrast between that drier surface and that, it's got the liner dipping and layering white. Let's see, this one. Oh.
I like that toast.
Yes, this is Amix, Amaco's Amix, and look at how crisp some of the prints are. I like me
that
some
is
silk
crisp.
screening.
Clean.
Silk screening on clay.
Wow.
Let me grab one more. This one is hot. It's Amix. So this is Amix Amaco. This is Herrick Smith's clay for his wood kiln.
Got it.
Nice job, Jeff.
This is a student one. I put on little seashells. Oh, we got some seashell marks there. Threw a little salt in the inside before we loaded it. Got a little bit of action in the inside there. He's gonna be stoked. Okay, I was worried about blowing these seashells up, but we're good. And look at how cool they look. This is the wadding inside of that seashell with the coffee grounds in there. That is cool. What else? Okay, here we go. We got an Amaco here. Amaco dipping and layering floating blue. This, when we fired the reduction kiln, this looked amazing. It got a little bit overpowered by the stoneware, but in the reduction kiln, it looked amazing. A rising sun glaze is so nice. Get it in the John Britt book. Look at how good that is. Real simple glaze. Got a little root teal in it. Just beautiful. Oh, yeah. That's toasty right there. That's what I'm about. That's a winner. Okay, this shelf was making me really happy. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that makes me really happy. I'm psyched on that. Okay, look at that color. Oh my goodness, that orange. What the heck? This is 25 laterite, 25 Helmer, I think, and then 50 Nefsai flashing slip. Wow. The color. Okay, okay, okay. I split this shelf here to try to promote some airflow through the middle, but I was worried about the bottom being too cool, but it was fine.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So this shelf looks
Wow.
even better.
100%.
Oh, wow. Shout out John Britt right here. John Britt, this is your Go Hyundai. I got your PDF. And wow, that is insane. That's your John Britt right there, Go Hyundai. Over the number 40, clay from Laguna. What the heck? With Amico mixing clear on top. What?
What? Oh, I'm going to have to revisit me some more.
What? No
mixing clear.
crazing, zero crazing on that. That is amazing. What the heck? I had zero expectations of that turning out. None. I was like, there's no way this is going to work.
Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible. Go follow John Britt, get his PDF. I just followed the instructions, but I skipped the part about using his clear and I just used Amico clear because I have it. And wow, look at the
Worked
spots.
great.
That is insane. What? I had no expectation of that working. Oh yeah, look at Skaggs right here. This must be your high fire.
Wow.
Turquoise dot.
Yep. That's
Herrick's.
Yep, wood kiln clay.
I'm looking at the color right on these and I'm very impressed with that color right there. I want to pick them up, but let's look at the other stuff first. So I'm going through kind of a full discovery in my life with tea, and I've been so excited. So I've been learning, all the students, we've been learning about tea and all tea stuff. So this is my first, looks like it's kind of stuck, but first Gaiwan. We're brewing tea. See how it works. It's probably a little bit big, but very excited about this journey. That looks pretty good. The wads are kind of stuck on there, but we'll get those off. Good friend Renee right here. Pretty awesome. Way to go, Renee. Renee brought me snacks last night. So snacks and tea last night. I'm so thankful. I was up all late last night. It was very awesome. Ash glaze from my tree. Pretty cool. All right. So I'm trying some different things out. I'm trying to get as many natural materials as possible. So this is just the bare porcelain with a flashing slip and then the Amico Lug 1. Mishima into the flashing slip. That is pretty handsome. That is classy. I can dig that. You wouldn't even need to put glaze on that. Got a student work, and I believe she used the Amico inks on here and a stencil. We threw a little salt in there just to give it a little bit more action. This is a cone 10 clay. Here are the cones. Cone 6, totally flat right there. Cone 5, completely melted. And I'm really excited about this surface. Wow, look at that. These are rim to rim. I love the spots it makes. They're not stuck. There they go. Okay. This is the ash glaze made from my tree. And this one is just iron oxide into the flashing slip. Kind of the natural look. I usually like running, but I think that's too much on the black underglaze. I'm digging that though. That surface is, that's what I'm about right there. One more Kathy Skaggs down here. Ooh, the reveal. This one got pretty toasty down the bottom. It's got nice and glossy. Plenty of salt on that one. Nice and shiny down there. Ooh, yeah. That one's got some nice color to it right there.
100%. Yes, look how flashy.
I think if they've all just gotten a little bit more soda, they would all look like that. Kristen, your cup, looking pretty awesome. That's got some nice flashing right there. It's in the hot zone. Okay, we have a cone 9. This is cone 9 right here. Cone 9 starting to bend in the bottom. We got significantly hotter on the bottom.
Wow.
It's like the best one too. Oh, wow. This one got cooked and I like it. Okay, note to self, fire hotter. Okay. Iron oxide, Mishima. I like that. Very simple, classy. Like the wad marks. Glaze looks great. It's a winner right there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do more of this. This is just that flashing slip with the iron oxide. It's very simple, classy. I like that a lot. That makes me really happy. I like just kind of just very simple. It's very simple, subtle. This is a student one. So I believe this is the dipping and layering ultramarine right here. It's everybody's favorite. It is so nice. Look at that. I think this is the dipping and layering ultramarine. That got cooked right there. That looks amazing. She's gonna be excited. All right, bottom cone packed. Completely flat. All right, everybody, I've had a good couple weeks to check all these out and kind of go over everything and kind of adjust everything. And like I mentioned before, that top shelf, the first time I fired it was the hotter shelf and everything turned out better. And then so I thought that if by putting a larger shelf on there, it would kind of even out the kiln and I could pack more in there and it would still be the best looking shelf. But it ended up being under fired. So I refired just about everything that was on that top shelf. By refiring it, I also learned something else. So I just want to point out a couple things. This is one of my favorite pots from that firing. This one, I decided to refire it. And when I refired it, this amber was a green color beforehand. So you can see that green color right there. And then when I refired it, it came out this amber color with the beautiful crystals in it. And that instantly hit me what happened. So this firing, I kind of held it at reduction the entire time. I didn't really oxidize it at the end. Like the first firing, I kind of held it in oxidation near the end and let it soak for a little bit. So when this amber glaze is re-oxidized, it goes from this green color to back to the amber color. And I much prefer the amber color. I do like the green color a lot. This piece is just really beautiful. And I like how satiny it is, but I like when it cools a little faster and it gets a little hotter and it reoxidizes to get this amber color. So next time when I fire the kiln, I'm going to just run it through a period of oxidation at the end, you know, turn this green color back to amber. And I just think this glaze is absolutely stunning. I was just, it looks amazing in the electric kiln. It's just a really fantastic glaze. So this one was refired and it's just a total beautiful mug. I'm so proud of it. Man, if I can keep on getting pots out of the kiln like this, I'm going to be stoked. The only thing that I wish I would have not done on this is put the clear glaze over the flounder teeth. I think it just looks a little garish. So next time I think I'm just going to carve those out and either put them amber or just leave them. I think it sticks out too much. I did 3 different tests on these flounders. They're all the same pattern, right? We got upside flounder, downside flounder, upside flounder. But I did 3 versions. This version right here was done with the slip trailer. I'm trying to get more loose with my drawings. Apologize for all the reflections from the light, but I'm going to try to hold it in a way you can see it without getting a ton of reflection. But on this one, I just love how the black slip trailing was a little bit looser than when I carved things in. So I really liked that. I got to do some line work, some line practice with the slip trailer. I'm not super practiced at it. This one was carved in and I rubbed in some black underglaze and did a white back. Really like the look at that, but I'm not so sold on having the black underglazes on areas where the drawing isn't. So if I did that again, I'd wax this out. But I'm trying to get away from like things that are really real piddly. I want my pots to be direct, and putting wax on and all that stuff is kind of gets piddly. I'm trying to get away from that. But just the plain carving alone does look good. Now the third one, all three of these have been refired. So beforehand, they looked kind of greenish. I actually like the way this one looked beforehand. This one got really hot, probably cone 7, maybe 8. And this one is just plain carved in. I think I'm really happy with that. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get more loose with my lines, try to just loosen my drawings up. I do like the carving quite a bit. I did buy a new carving tool just to test some things out. Not really a tool person. I'm trying to keep my tools as simple as possible, but these tools that I use to carve these in are just, they're hard to find. Kemper makes them, and they used to be easy to find, and there's just a couple of them left, and they're on eBay. You have to pay whatever the eBay seller is selling for them. I haven't seen them from a regular supply store, so I'm trying to find a different carving tool company. So if you got a carving tool you really like, throw it in the comments there. But this black underglaze on there, just some really cool marks in that black underglaze, and I love the white Amico snow glaze, just a real subtle flounder pattern in there. You can see the dots going around the black underglaze. So super happy with these, just incredibly proud of them. I can't believe for the first time how good they turned out. So really proud of those. Now, the other things that I really liked was total MVP of the firing was the surface of the flashing slip. Couldn't be more happy with this flashing slip. Just incredibly beautiful. I love the satin sheen of it. It made it possible for me to use barely any salt. It really attracts that salt. And that's one of the things I really learned from this firing. So this has got the iron oxide. Again, I'm trying to get away from all the chemicals and stuff like that. So this is just iron oxide and clay. And just, this is probably my favorite mug out of the favorite pot out of the firing. I'm just so happy with this one. Kind of encapsulates all my ideas, but it's got the iron oxide with the flashing slip applied. But there's a big but here. This is on frost porcelain. This piece is actually translucent, and it's on the frost porcelain. You don't need to use something that pure if you're gonna put flashing slip over it. But if I were to use a stoneware and put the same slip over it, I think it would be too dark. So I wanna develop a slip that's a little lighter. This one's 25% laterite, 25% Helmer, 50% Nefsi. So I think the key was going down to that 50% Nefsi. But I think I could use just about any clay and get a nice flashing. So I'm going to lower the laterite up the Helmer and see if I can get a lighter color that would look good over, like, say, a B-Mix or even a light stoneware. I wish I would have gotten a video of me glazing this one. I'm in love with this one too, but it does need a little bit of work. So as I mentioned earlier, I dipped this halfway, and then I took my Hakame brush and whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I love this portion down here, just that wispy look. I love that. This was unexpected. This was just kind of an experiment. So what I'm going to do in the future is not dip it halfway down like this in the bucket and just use the Hakame brush for the whole thing over that flashing slip. Just so happy. So the flashing slip. So one of the things I wanted to find out from this kiln was, can you fire a salt kiln in your backyard, soda kiln, salt kiln, in your backyard in a residential neighborhood without using ton of, making a ton of noise and smoke and stuff like that. So in this firing, I used 1 pound of salt, which is a very little amount for most people. Yeah, I know there's a big debate on salt soda, which is better or not. I mean, 1 pound is barely any. And as you can see from the inside of the kiln, it barely touched those bricks. The bricks look almost untouched. So using this 50% Nefsi, this slip, attracts the soda. It really allowed me, there was no smoke in the kiln. I basically made no smoke. You couldn't even tell I salted it. And the burners aren't really that loud. It was like 4 a.m. I fired till 4 a.m. So I apologize I didn't get any video, but honestly, I was just trying to survive with work and getting this all done. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is a regular flashing slip right here. This is a 70-30, and this is a 50-50 flux to clay ratio. And you can see how it almost resisted the soda. There's barely any flash on there. I think this mug would be sick if that had, more flashing on this bottom part. Again, I went wispy this way with the Hakame brush in the glaze and wispy this way with the Hakame brush in the slip. Did get some color here, but very light color. It very much resisted it. And that's the other thing. My friends, all that put pots in there, my students, Their pieces came out very dry just because they were using more refractory clays. Even the ones that were made for flashing just didn't have a whole lot of flux in them. So they kind of they were very refractory and resisted the soda. This is a kind of example right here. This is B-Mix. You can see it barely got any flash to it. Actually really like this cup though. And we had a lot of really nice cups come out. Just so proud of all these. They look incredible. This one's one of my favorite. This is kind of my direction I'm going in. Like, I used to make huge cups like this size, right? Now I'm drinking out of cups like this. My life is kind of changing here. I'm getting into new things and stuff like that. So couldn't be more happy with this firing, and I learned so much. Takeaways. I'm gonna do a bunch of tests with different flashing slips. I need to make some test tiles, test out different clays. What does EPK do? What does Tile 6 do? What does adding titanium do to do it? What is changing the ratio of the laterite and the Helmer? Can I just use straight up EPK? Can I put a little bit of laterite in there? If you didn't see my video on the ash glaze, these are all ash glazes. This video is going to be out. It's either already out, and I'll link it down in the end cards, or it's going to come out soon. This is the ash glazes. This was the one ash glaze for my tree, and this is an ash glaze I made from charcoal. See, they're slightly different. These are both on B-Mix. So I think if I have any friends come and visit, I'm going to either tell them that they should put flashing slip on there. The number 40 from Laguna, though, this is number 40 stoneware clay from Laguna. Totally perfect. I mean, with 1 pound of salt, that's just beautiful right there. Just a slight hint of shine, but not like glossy, shiny brown. Just a nice toast color. The bottom's, you know, nice and smooth. The number 40 clay from Laguna seems to be the stuff, as well as the B-Mix with flashing slip. Yeah, you guys keep up that enthusiasm, the likes. I mean, all the comments, it just keeps me going. I just love it. Thank you so much. Got like almost 60 subscribers in the last 2 days coming from my other channel, I'm assuming. Just totally made my New Year's Day. I can't believe it. So thank you so much. If you want to buy these pots, I'm going to have a 10% off code in the description below. You get 10% off through Etsy. Don't need a coupon code or anything. Etsy just puts it right in if you use that link. Super proud of these, and I hope you can get one for yourself, and I will see you in the next video. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.